the review of literature. So the first thing that you have to remember is nobody will have any work with the exact same title as yours. So the title will always be different. That is the whole point of you doing your own research paper. So most people they will start trying to do the review of literature by googling their topic, and they'll see that there is nobody has done anything related to their topic, and they'll say that I'm the first one to do it, but that's not how you're supposed to do a review of literature. A review of literature must include every single aspect of your project that somebody has already done. So my topic was to modernize Indian dishes and elevate them to Michelin standards. So nobody earlier has done the exact same thing that I've done. Nobody has exactly tried to take an Indian dish and modernize it. But there are so many other aspects of my topic that I can include in my review of literature, which starts from what is Michelin, who are they, why did they start judging restaurants, what are the criteria they're using for the judging restaurants. And since I was doing my topic on Indian cuisine, after this I also gave a detailed discussion about Indian cuisine in detail. So I started my review of literature by asking myself three questions that I wanted to answer through my project. So how do you classify a dish to be a Michelin star worthy dish? Are there any set guidelines that must be followed in making a dish for it to be considered Michelin star dish? Are there any specifications such as minimum number of elements on the plate, colors or textures that a dish
Satyakirti,
must have?
little slow.
Okay, sir. Are there any specifications such as minimum number of elements on the plate, colors or textures that a dish must possess to qualify as a Michelin star dish? So I wanted to understand these three things so that I can get a brief idea about how to take a normal Indian dish and do some tweaks to it and call it a Michelin star dish. So what all do I have to do to it? Does it have to have five different colors? Should it have 10 different elements? I wanted to understand what all it must have. So this thing I can do review of literature. I can include in my review of literature, and for that I used a variety of sources. Most people they'll only go to websites and stop it, but you'll be learning a lot more from other types of sources. So the sources that I mainly included were, of course, website first, books, videos, movies. Videos and movies are very important aspect of my paper, because especially when it comes to cooking, you can see that more chefs have videos and movies rather than books. Like there's an entire series on Michelin star chefs on Netflix called The Chef's Table, where people go and interview different Michelin star chef in each episode. So I watched the entire series to draw conclusions to, and take some common points that most chefs said that I used to do this in my restaurant. I used to do this in my restaurant. So I accumulated all those common points and put that as a guidelines. So all of these things you can include in your review of literature. So like I said, I started off by a simple question of who is Michelin, right? Because you have to work under the assumption that the person who is reading your paper has no idea about your topic. So you have to teach them what every single thing is. You cannot use jargons. Jargons are words that only culinary people understand. So when I say, for example, when I say I'm going to sous vide chicken, the person who's reading will not know what sous vide is. So you have to explain every single word that you write in your project from scratch. So considering that aspect, the person who's reading my project does not know who Michelin is at all. So I had to start off by telling about who is Michelin. And the next important thing over here is when you're answering such questions, always make sure you use a proper reference, a proper authentic reference. So over here, my reference is the actual Michelin guide themselves. So you can include references like Lotus or taught us before from this reference insert citation, and over here you can include your references. So whenever you're answering such important questions like who is Michelin, what do they do, how do they judge a dish, always make sure you use authentic sources, because if you use some other source that some other guy says, it will be their opinion. It will not be the truest reflection of what it is, and you might end up making mistakes. So I used all Michelin's official references, which in the sense I went to their website and I took their definition of themselves. So in the Michelin's website, they had a definition about who is Michelin. So I took that. And the next thing is you should not copy paste from the website directly. There are very few cases where you're allowed to copy paste. That is in case when you want to exactly quote something that they have said in your project. In those times, you have to put your copy paste content within double quotes and immediately mention the author, the website you took it from, and the title of the blog. So otherwise, it's always better to read it and write it in your own words to avoid plagiarism. So who is Michelin was the first thing that I wrote about. and then I gave a small timeline to understand in easier manner about what Michelin is and how they got into evaluating restaurants. And then I started speaking about why did they start evaluating restaurants? Because Michelin started out as a tire manufacturing company. So it's curious to ask why did they get into hotel business and restaurant business? So everywhere you can see my references were from the official Michelin article only. And all of these paragraphs, I have not copy pasted any of them. I've read it and then written them on my own words. So then I moved on to different ratings that Michelin offers. So as culinary people, we know there's 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. But like I again said, if a person is reading your article for the first time, they have no idea what it is that you're talking about. So you have to explain it to them in detail. You have to say there is this company called Michelin. This is how they started evaluating restaurants. This is the various types of ratings they offer. So then the 1, 2, 3 stars and comfort and quality. These are all the different types of ratings that Michelin offers to restaurants. After this, I moved on to Michelin and Indian cuisine. So now I'm getting closer to my topic. So Michelin is the ultimate topic that I'm handling. But now moving on to my actual topic where I'm getting Michelin to Indian cuisine. So now I have to start putting in work on my own. So Michelin and Indian cuisine, I first started off by talking about what all Michelin star chefs are there in the country. So the reason I did this is not just to increase my page count. I don't do that. But the reason I did this was because I wanted to find out if all of these chefs had something in common. So all the chefs that I've mentioned over here, I have gone through various interviews of each chef. I have seen videos of all of these chefs making various dishes, and I've tried to pen down points that most of these chefs have in common in with their cuisine. So, for example, one distinctive thing that every chef says is respect your ingredients. Have seasonal ingredients and respect your ingredients. So that is a learning I penned down from all of these Michelin star chefs. Since my topic is focused in India and Michelin star, so I wanted to see what other Indian chefs, Michelin starred Indian chefs, are doing that I can learn from them. So I mentioned all of these chefs over here. So then I move back to my 3 questions that I initially had. How do you classify a dish and any guidelines, any specifications? What can you do? So then I start speaking about what makes a great dish and what elevates the ordinary and turns it into the sublime. So this is an official article by Michelin. So like I told you before, whenever you're using something in copy pasting, you have to mention the author immediately so that you can see that example over here. Over here, I say my first source for finding answers to those questions was Michelin itself, according to an official article by Michelin in April 2020 titled What Makes a Great Dish. An anonymous Michelin inspector speaks about what he thinks are the base of a great dish. So I mentioned the article, I mentioned the date, I mentioned what company it is. So whenever you're taking something exactly from a website, mention all the sources immediately. Over here, you can see I start speaking in third person immediately. I start saying he goes on to convey because he has written when he writes in first person. He says I went to this restaurant, but I cannot copy paste that. So I read that, understood it, and then I say he went on to convey whatever it is. Again, references everywhere.
One minute, Satyakirti. Sorry to disturb you. Go to that earlier page. Now this picture. From where you have taken this picture?
Huh. So for this, you again have to first of all you mention all your every picture must have over here. If you right click, insert caption, you'll be able to insert a caption for that picture right away. And at the end, you can make a table of figures at the start. But again, you also have to collect all the references for the pictures that you take
Ha.
from and include them in your references.
So no. Whether you have cited this picture from where you have taken?
Yes, sir. I have all the references for pictures also.
Okay, very good. That is, but it is not shown here. What from where you have taken this picture?
No, sir, only at the end I mentioned because next to every picture if I mentioned it was becoming clumsy. So
Okay, fine,
at
fine.
the end I mentioned.
It is there in the bibliography.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So over here he speaks about various elements that he thinks makes a dish Michelin star dish. So he talks about balance. He speaks about creativity and skill, consistency, and various other things over here. So one thing I want to again quote over here is there is one paragraph that he spoke about which I could not write in my own words at all. I tried, but I could not write. So again, I included that in double quotes over here. Over here, you can see the double quotes start and the double quotes end over here. So this entire paragraph is an extract that he himself said, and I could not write this in my own words. So this thing alone, I put in double quotes. So then I went on about all of these things, and at the end, according to official Michelin articles and websites, there were five characteristics that a Michelin star dish is supposed to have: the quality of ingredients used, mastery of flavor and cooking techniques, personality of chef in his cuisine, value for money, and consistency between visits. So now that I have got some sort of guidelines, five set values that I can, try to incorporate into a dish. Now I was closer to my topic. So if I somehow incorporate these five principles in an Indian dish, then you can call it to be a Michelin worthy dish. Now I was getting closer to my topic. So at the end, after my this was my first source as to what Michelin guidelines are. The first source was an official source by Michelin, but there are a bunch of other sources as well, not as authentic as Michelin, but they might still contribute significantly to your topic. But again, doesn't mean you can just take out any random person's blog and include it. It has to be something notable, some university or some establishment that is doing something related to cooking. So they will be in a better position to give you more detail about what Michelin guidelines are. So for that, I found a few more sources. So ECPI University, so they had a blog about Michelin inspectors. Whatever they concluded, I again wrote that. Chef Academy London, Trip Savvy blog, and then Vitamix. So again, you can see review of literature is not very simply exactly your topic. It's my topic was about modernizing Indian cuisine, but now I'm doing my review of literature to see if any guidelines have been established to make a dish Michelin, because that is kind of related to my topic. Only by knowing the guidelines will I be in a position to make a dish Michelin. The first source, official Michelin, most legitimate source. Following four more sources by other establishments, not exactly Michelin, but again establishments that have something to do with culinary. So they're in a position to give you something. After this, I wanted to analyze a few case studies, especially in culinary. The best way you can learn is by seeing other people who have done something and learning from what they have done. So Indian chefs cooking an Indian Michelin star dish, I can analyze the dish and understand what he has done different to the dish. So I wanted to analyze a few case studies. So first, lessons by award-winning chefs. So these are all chefs who have won Michelin stars, who have who set lots of factors that they implement in their cuisine. So I took the common factors: a commitment to quality, standing out from other restaurants, providing outstanding service. These might seem very obvious to you. When you ask what makes a restaurant very good, you will say it has to be very good quality, it has to have good service. Now there's a difference between you saying it and a bunch of award-winning Michelin star chefs who have said it. So it's important to take legitimate people who have already won the award and then take their learnings and then mention it in your review literature. And then this was an article I came across by a food blogger. So the reason I took this for, like I told you, you should not take any random person's post or blog. But the reason I included this food blogger's article was because she had dined in over 30 Michelin star restaurants across the world, and her website is filled with information and menus and pictures from all these Michelin star restaurants. So I felt like although she's not a chef, she's a very enthusiastic person when it comes to tasting these menus and these Michelin star restaurants. So the learnings that she had, I again included it over here. Again, all of these things written in my own words after learning. So tasting menu or a la carte menu. So this is why I told about the Netflix chef's table. This is where I came across it. She said she had watched this, so immediately I went and watched the entire series of chef's table, and I've included quite a few. I've included the movie as a reference as well because a lot of things I learned from that series I included in my project. These are all her observations about a Michelin star meal. And then again, finally, I wanted to include some journals and research papers. So again, when I went to Google, there was no research paper exactly on my topic. When I went and typed modernizing Indian dishes research paper, there was zero results because nobody has done a research paper on modernizing Indian dishes. But there are people who have done related journals, related research papers that you can possibly include. So the purpose of this paper that I mentioned over here was to compare and contrast the innovation process described by Michelin star chefs with existing theoretical innovation process models. So this is quite interesting, right? Because if they give me a set guidelines as to how to innovate a dish, I can use those guidelines to an Indian dish and make it Michelin star. So I went through this paper entirely. So I basically over here I have described their paper. It's from their abstract and their introduction, but you can't copy paste it. You have to write it in your own words. And then these seven things are the factors that they talk about in innovating a dish: idea generation, screening, trial and error, concept development, final testing, training, and commercialization. So each of these seven factors I talk about in reference to culinary in all of these things. So you can say taste, texture, color. So everything. So these seven factors they believe are the foundation of creativity in Michelin star dishes, in Michelin star chefs. At the end, I spoke with a professional. So this was a contact that Lomte sir gave me. So Chef Parag Kapile, he works in Australia. He's the executive chef, he's the head chef of a restaurant in Australia. And his executive chef is Chef Manjunath Mural, who won a Michelin star in Singapore in his restaurant, The Song of India. So I felt like he was in a much better place to, explain to me what a Michelin star dish is, because he's working right with the Michelin star chef. So I messaged Chef on LinkedIn, and then we had a conversation. And then I asked him about a few questions. He answered, and then I gave him like a small question to answer to, so that I can include that in my paper. I said, Chef, what are a few characteristics of a Michelin star dish according to you? And then these were the things he told me. So I don't want to go in detail and start reading out my review of literature, but I included this because I wanted to include in my review of literature what an actual person in the field, in the industry, working with the Michelin star chef has to say about the topic, because they will know the most about it than any other blog you come across. So I included that as well over here. So this just goes on to show you what all you can include in a review of literature. Review of literature does not necessarily mean seeing about sweets history or your dishes history and including that. It's about what all work, what all other people's opinions you can accumulate on your topic and include it. At the end, like I said, I want to analyze a Michelin star dish. Take an actual dish, analyze it. So for this, I chose the French Laundry restaurant in California. It's a three Michelin star restaurant by Thomas Keller. So I took one dish from his restaurant. And again, it's very important where you take the recipe from. So this recipe I did not take from Google or anywhere else. I took it from his official cookbook. So this is the French Laundry cookbook by Thomas Keller himself, and that picture you see is not available anywhere on the internet. It's a picture that is in this book that I took, scanned, cropped, and put it there. So that's how exclusive that picture is, and the recipe for this dish is. Because when I say I'm analyzing a Michelin star dish from the French Laundry, it has to be the exact recipe of the French Laundry. It can't be some other person's opinion. Which is why I took his exact book and saw what he has done there, took that picture, and then I drew conclusions. What are the things I can learn from his dish? The simplicity, respect for the ingredient, surprise factor, harmony of elements, modern take on traditions. These five things were the things I could learn from his dish. So at the end, what I basically try to cover in my review of literature is for me to be able to understand what I have to do to a dish to make it Michelin star dish. So a review of literature is going to help you in your topic by getting you closer to doing your topic actually. So whatever topic you take, at the end of your review of literature, you should have learned enough about the topic to actually jump in and start doing it. So that is basically what I did. What is Michelin? What all they do? How do they get in? What all elements must a dish have? What are the characteristics a dish must have? What are the guidelines a dish must have? What guidelines have various Michelin star chefs followed? Indian chefs followed? After getting an answer to all these questions, I was in a better place to understand how to make a dish, an Indian dish, into a Michelin star dish. So at the conclusion, I basically answered my questions, the three questions I asked initially. I've repeated those three questions here, and this is the answer to those three questions. And then I ended with a very good quote that I found from one of Massimo Bottola's books. He's again a three Michelin star chef, and that is basically it. And of course, references. So at the end, you give your bibliography and you mention all your references. When you say insert references, you get all the references that you included earlier. It will all be listed in an APA format. So these are all the references. So over here, you can see over here. So most of them are links, right, from website. But again, over here, like I said, if you see this one, Galp Director 2019 Chef's Table, it's a motion picture. So I also included the picture, the French Laundry cookbook, of course, because I took a recipe from the cookbook, so I included the book. So anything that you come across, you have to include in your references. And that is pretty much it for how I did my review of literature.
Very good, Satyakirti. Thank you for sharing knowledge with everyone here all your classmate. Most of the things ethical, basically very important thing in research is ethics. Okay, so that most of the ethical guidelines Satyakirti have followed. Most of the times, even I also tried when I earlier I started my research activities. That time, I also faced this kind of difficulties. How to get the information, then some information we try to copy and paste, and at the end we land up in the plagiarism errors. Okay, so to avoid that, Satyakirti have given most of the ethical guidelines what he have followed. At I we don't expect that much strictly for to follow all guidelines during your UG project report, but what he have explained here and what he have followed in his review of literature, it is very good. I congratulate Satyakirti here for finishing first part of his project, that he have finished with review of literature and in a good manner. I found that he have followed all ethics. That's why I requested him, you present in front of your classmates so that it will be beneficial to everyone here. Okay, so let me stop my recording, then we will discuss.